What's going on? We back. Overreaction Mondays, October 2nd, and one half of the Man-to-Man pod. Or maybe I'm my co-host D Butt
Yes, sir. Back in the building.
in the Thunderdome. Man, we appreciate y'all as always, man. We got a good show for y'all today. Obviously, Monday Night Football tonight. We're gonna touch on last week, Thursday night football game. Yesterday we had a full load of
Hey.
Pause the Sunday.
For starting early.
Chill out. So yeah, man, we're gonna talk some good ball, man, and also WNBA final start. Ooh. Who is it? The Las Vegas Aces.
Yep, New York Liberty.
So we're gonna talk some WNBA, and then also the fellas, the NBA got some big trades. Dame Lillard. Who else?
Holiday.
Drew Holiday. So again, man, we got a good show, man. We got a good show. How was your weekend before we get to the other side, D-Bud? How was it?
Weekend was great. That full slate of football games was definitely good. Has some good college football as well this weekend. Obviously, got spend some time with the family. And back at it, man. The weekend was great though. What about you?
Nah, it was good. It was good, man. In the booth another week, like you said, was able to tap into some college football. So another good weekend, man. Happy to be back here with the Man-to-Man pod family.
Absolutely.
So again, as always, man, y'all put the comments in the chat section. Tap in with us, and we'll catch y'all on the other side.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we talking, man to man, they can't guard me, man to man, they don't wanna see us, man to man, they don't know how to beat us, man to man, man to man, man to man, man to man, yeah, man, that's in me, that's why I want it so bad. Must be the hustler in me that keep my foot on the gas. When you got it from nothing and hard times ain't so bad. Just know I'm coming for everything that they said I couldn't have. I put my life inside it, yeah, I kept it solid. Yeah, I played the field, that's how I feel about it. We put numbers on the board, we always up the score. Yeah, we stuck to the plan and never ran. Now they can't see it, man. Yeah, we talking, man to man. They can't guard me, man to man. They don't wanna see us, man to man. They don't know how to beat us, man to man. Man to man, 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 man to man.
Any way we can get it, baby. Any way we can get it. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, we're going to kick it off, man. NBA. The NBA, big trades, man. Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks. My first question for you is, does this make the Milwaukee Bucks the favorite to win?
I mean, it got to on paper. I feel like you got to be the favorite on paper. You got to bring a Dame over. He's a 32-point a game guy. Hasn't been as healthy lately as he's been throughout his career, but he's a dog. He's a finisher. One of the most clutch players in NBA history. And we know
hold on. One of the most clutches. I know at one point, I think producer Tone, correct me if I'm wrong. D Butt said that Dame is the most clutch player in the history of the game.
Nah, come on now. We got MJ, we got Kobe, we got LeBron. we got some clutch, who's done it on the finals and and so
Okay.
I would have to give them Magic, guys.
I'm just saying,
but,
Tone is setting. Now I kind of remember, something
but
along to that effect. But
you
go
look
ahead,
at the numbers, I'm sure they substantiate my statement when it comes to Dame. But he's a dog, and we wanted him bad down in Miami. Pause. And when he came out and made his trade request and said Miami or nobody, we felt good about Pat Riley and the boys getting it done. They didn't, and definitely disappointed down. Everybody except Tyler Hero disappointed down there in Miami. But I think they do make the Bucks the favorite, having Dame and Greek Freak. Shit, and still kept Middleton too. They lost Drew Holiday, who's a two-way star, but I think they should be the favorites on paper. But it did all that to go and lose to my Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. But how you feel about this trade? And then shoot, the other part of this trade too is Drew ending up with the Boston Celtics. I think that's a big deal as well.
Yeah. So we can't forget about them Denver Nuggets. Can't forget about them. But I think this was big for Milwaukee. Obviously, like you said, Dame expressed high interest, wanting to go down there the South Beach, but Dame and Giannis linking up. Giannis was already talking about it just when it came to his future in Milwaukee. He just like, look, I want to be somewhere where we can win. So being able to get Dame alongside with him, man, I think it's gonna be scary because again, you talk about Chris Middleton and what he's able to do, off the ball. So when you got three guys that can put the ball in the basket, in the bucket, that's gonna be scary, man. At the end of the game, you really not gonna be able to flood the paint. Obviously with Giannis driving to the rack, man. So this is gonna be scary. But then again, like you said, on the flip side, with Drew going to Boston, they talking about possibly the best two-way player in the game. What he can do on the defensive end and offensive end. Teamed up with two young gunners, Jay Tatum and Brown. I like Boston too. So I would love to see a Milwaukee, Boston Celtics.
Don't disrespect my Heat like we're not going to be in
the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? But
don't do that.
But again, like you said, we can't forget about the Nuggets. I'm interested on this NBA season. You got some young teams, Sacramento Kings. That's going to play. We're going to see what the Lakers going to do. We spoke on the Nuggets, Philly. I don't know, but these two trades, man, it was good, man. I think it's beneficial for both teams.
Yeah, two good trades. You like to see, team. You saw Greek Freak kind of put the pressure on the Bucks organization early when they're interviewing, saying like, "Look, I'm here as long as I feel like this is the best opportunity for me to compete for a championship." And you going out to get it's a big time. This ain't no small, this ain't no chump. This is a big time player proven. And it's good for Dame too. Now he's got an opportunity to really compete for a championship and be on the biggest stage under the brightest light. So should make the NBA more interesting for sure.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, man. Yeah, another funny thing though, they said Dame tried to rescind the trade, and it was like the owner was out. Hell no! Like
I saw it with Portland.
Yeah. It was like, nah, man, like you can't be having one foot out the door, then trying to come back. Yeah. But nah, man, I think it's gonna be good for the game of basketball for the NBA.
Yeah, definitely, man. Should make it more for sure.
On the flip side, man, we'll go to the women WNBA. WNBA finals. We talked about the Las Vegas Aces, New York Liberty.
And no surprises there with those two teams in it, with all the talent on those two teams. Bree Stewart, Sabrina, we got Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson, like a lot of talent on both of these squads. So it should be very exciting finals. I've been able to catch some of these some of their playoff games. Some good ball, of course, like they play all year long, but it should be good, man. Bree Stewart, I'm rooting for my UConn.
Oh, you going New York Liberty?
I'm going New York Liberty right now. I'm letting you know.
I'm going Aces. I'm going Aces. How did you feel about the MVP? it was a lot of talk as far as the top 3 in the MVP race. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, it was close. It was a close. I think actually, I want to say Asia Wilson got more first place votes.
Yeah.
But it was, like I said, it was close with the first place votes. Bree Stewart got a lot more second place votes. But a lot of times, just like the NBA, NFL, well, sometimes it's a clear cut. Like, all right, that motherfucker should win it. Even last year, Jalen Hurts, he gets banged up. If he don't get banged up, it is it Mahomes, is it Hurts? So I think it's the same thing with the WNBA. All 3 women were more than deserving of the award, but I'm not gonna be mad that Bree Stewart got it. I think she earned it just like the other ladies did, but she edged them out as far as votes and stuff go, and she got it, man. And that's that's my UConn legend right there. So
I feel like it's good for the game too, though. It's good for the game. The women out here, they going out there rocking, they balling, and then to the media and the fans gonna put their spin on it. And that's I don't necessarily know how they feel about one another. I'm pretty sure they're competitors and they respect each other's craft and respect each other's game. But just even going to, like you said, like now going into the WNBA championship, you got 2 of the top stars of the league going head to head. So I just think it's good for the game all around. So like you said, all 3 was deserving of the award. But to be able to see these 2 teams go at it, man, I'm definitely gonna be tuned in.
Yeah, I'm gonna be tapped in. That's gonna be a good one. It's a best of 5?
Yep.
Let's go best of 7.
Best of 5.
Best of 5.
Best of 5. Best of 5.
There we go.
Then we had some college ball before we get to the league. We got some college ball, man. Prime star-studded sideline again this past weekend with 2 of the top quarterbacks in college football right now.
Yeah.
Both of them I feel as though right now gonna be in the Heisman race, the Heisman talk. Colorado versus USC. It was a big talk about just, the 2 quarterbacks coming into the game, what Prime is doing over there, not only on the field, but off the field. Caleb Williams looking up to go for, his second Heisman.
Back to back.
Second in a row. USC jumped out on their ass early. I was in the booth doing the game, just, checking on the scores. I'm like, damn, Colorado about to be 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
But Shador was able to, put the book bag on and really, willed them to win, willed them to come back, get into the game. Obviously, they fell short towards the end, man. Like, I don't know if you was able to catch the game. Like, what was your thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah. I got to catch Colorado. I got to catch it. That's must-see TV at this point, especially with USC. Wanted to see how they would bounce back. How you handle adversity. You know what I mean? I was with the pregame speech when they brought the baby out for the pregame speech. I was like, oh shit, man, Colorado. About to get out, watch them out. Kirk out here talking about, man. But now, like you said, man, they started off slow. It was a home game, great environment out there in Colorado. But Shador, the young boy, Omarion, get his last name, 14, man, Miller, maybe. Yeah, came out of kind of nowhere. Had like damn near 200 yards, made some big time plays, Jimmy Horn Jr., but Shador, because the O-line, D-line is kind of their weak points right now, which you would expect. And so they were getting after him. So, Shador took an ugly sack early. And then late in the game, as they were driving, as they had momentum, as the offense started moving, the OC, for some reason, I want to say it was probably like 3 minutes of some change on the clock. He run the ball in the middle, run the ball in the middle. Like, I mean, he was just taking his time to the point where once they scored, they had to kick the onside kick and get it. And I didn't understand that clock management at the end. It was absolutely horrible. Like you said, looking at that score, watching the game, you're like, damn, this could get ugly. Another 21-point underdogs coming into this game, but end up losing by what, 7 or 8?
7 or 8,
yeah. Like 48-41 or 48-40. So ended up being a great game, man. But shout out to both of those guys. Like you said, should still be in the Heisman conversation as the season winds down. Colorado with 2 losses now. Now at this point, It may be one, maybe another loss on the schedule, but I think they should be in good position to pretty much run the table with what Coach Prime and Shedeur is doing out there.
That's going to be crazy. I feel like they're in position to get about at least eight, like about 8 wins.
Mm-hmm. I think the over-under was like 3 coming into the year.
Three. Yeah. So that's big. That's big time. Especially on Power 5 on that stage, being able to, no wins to 8 wins in a matter of one off season. You know what I mean? So
huge.
That's huge. Speaks volume of not only Coach Prime but his entire coaching staff and the fellas over there that's balling and put the work in.
Yeah, for sure. Now, before we move on, I want to ask you about did you see Coach Prime talking? I think he was in like a presser or something, and he gets asked about Cormani McClain a lot, who got some valuable reps as well. 5-star recruit. A lot of people wanted him to go down to the Hurricanes. Big, tall, lanky corner.
Yeah,
got some reps, made some plays on Rice in the end zone. But earlier in the week, or maybe it might have been last week, one of the reporters asked, what does Cormani need to do to kind of get on the field and get out there? And Deion publicly was like, hey, he need to study, he need to show up to classes, he need to do this, he need to do that. Basically all the things that we heard or probably needed to hear as 17, 18, 19-year-old young man. What were your thoughts on
no problem with it, man. Because my thing is, I would have, and I don't know if he did, but I'm pretty sure Prime has told him that many times. Like, this is the reason why you're not playing on the field. Now, if this was the first time that young man has heard that, where Deion is talking about it publicly, then yeah, I would have a problem with that. Like, that's an issue that you deal behind closed doors. You bring that young man into his office, but how we've seen Deion go about his business, I'm pretty sure he's told that young man that many of times.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Yeah, many a time. So I don't have a problem with it. It's again, like, I just feel like we in a generation where, like, you can't be too hard on them. You shouldn't say this. You shouldn't say that. Like, nah, be upfront with them. Now, they've made college ball a big time business right now.
Absolutely.
And now you have to teach these young men and these young women early in the game, like, this is what it is. So in order for me to trust you on the field, if you're not doing the things off the field, I can't put you in the game. Yeah, you're talented, but he was talking about the film, like that iPad. Yeah, he talking about the iPad, like, then I was hearing some people say, like, that was as far as the coach, like, you can't tell a player that he can't play based off the field time. He's not telling them that he can't eat, but he's just saying, like, if you're not watching film, like, I just can't trust you out there on the field. So yeah. I don't have a problem with it, D-Buck. I thought, if that was my son and Coach called me and said, look, this is the reason why your son not playing, and he's able to run down the reasons why he's not playing, I got to respect that.
Yep, and get on the phone with your son. Hey, tighten up, Jim. We set you up there. But that's what you do. As a parent, I'm sure my parents felt this way, and I'll feel this way when I send my kids off one day to hopefully play sports as well, outside of home and in college and beyond. But you want that coach to take that role and coach them hard and show them what it is to be, almost like a pro. Even if you don't go pro, when you're playing big time college sports, you got to conduct yourself as a pro. That's all that training and eating and all that other stuff you're doing outside of being a student. It's tough. But that's real life. You're not just going. It's not just going to be handed to you because you're a 5-star, and I don't want to miss out on the next 5-star because now the next 5-star may be looking like, oh damn, Coach Prime, he tripping, he on that. Like, nah, this real life. And if you come and sign up for this program, this is what it's going to be. And I hate to ruin it for people if I am. This ain't just Coach Prime. I guarantee you it's the same way in Alabama, Georgia, Howard, Jackson State, wherever you go with these coaches and these programs have a standard. That's what it's going to be. Everybody's talented. Everybody's, the best in their city, one of the best in their state. Everybody's all that stuff. Once you go up to that level, it's a different, set of expectations. And I love to see it. And I also love to see seemingly Cormani respond because he got on the field and he made some plays, and that's a big time game, big time environment. So hopefully that's just the beginning of his great college career. But yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, And to piggyback on something you said, just as far as like being a pro, like, just talking to the, the young cats that's coming out of college, it's like, yo, when them scouts is coming in here, them GMs coming here and looking at you, like, they're not looking for college players to turn pro. They already looking for pros, that's on the college level to join their team. So like you hit that right on the head too. Like this it's pro mentality, man. It starts early in the game.
Absolutely. And that'll take you on in life, playing sports or not. You got a job to do, you got a work to do. Show up prepared, be prepared, because everybody else in here that's lined up for these jobs are going to be prepared for sure.
Yeah, and shit, and stay with Colorado. Travis Hunter, you see the video where he invited the safety from Colorado State on, I guess, I don't know where they was at, but they met up, and I just thought that was huge. I'm pretty sure they say that Coach Prime didn't know anything about it, and Travis Hunter, he just did that on his own. So that just goes to show you like the type of people that you want to recruit, the type of people, the type of kids you want in your program. You know what I mean? Because it was a lot of people talking shit as far as like what should have been done to the young man from Colorado State, dirty hit, or he should be this or that. But for Travis Hunter, young man, to step up and be like, look, man, come out here, man. I'm gonna get you on the whatever so we can squash the beef. I think that was huge. That was a lot about his character.
For sure. A lot about his character, showed his maturity level. And even him speaking out, I think he does a podcast. Clips from seemingly doing a podcast or streaming. And he was just talking about, that's football. And we all done been on the field or, have even delivered a shot or two to say, hey, I got to send this message to this player or to this team. And that was a chippy, that's a rivalry game. And sometimes, you may cross the line a little bit, but that's football. That's life. So that was dope of him. For sure. I can't wait to see him back on the field as well, because I definitely think he would have made a difference in this USC Colorado game. But that was great, man. I know we got to talk about your game too before we move on to the NFL.
Yeah, man. This week, man, I was in Frankfort, Kentucky. Never heard of Frankfort, Kentucky, but that is the capital of Kentucky. I would have never known that. Kentucky State versus Albany State. A good game. Kentucky State's homecoming. It was week 5 for AB in the booth, man, where HBCU go, man. Had a good game. Had a real good game. Albany State, I would say their first 4 drives, all of their drives in the first half, they scored. Scored touchdowns on, came out big, got a sack, forced fumble, scoop and score, big fella, was able to run it in. But second half, Kentucky State, and I will say, this is what I'll say. Quinn Gray, both of these teams, head coaches played in the league. Quinn Gray for Albany State, and then Kentucky State, Coach Huggins, man. So he played receiver for the Bills. So got some guys that know the game, that's leading these teams. So that was dope too. A lot of coaches coming back to the HBCU level, man, and giving these young boys some games. So I love that, and I appreciate that. But Kentucky State, man, they came back, they battled back. Had some really good talent out there, some really good talent. It was the last drive of the game. Kentucky State was going in to score, and their starting quarterback, Denham Johnson, a freshman, coming from Texas, that 6'8" ball. Yeah. So he had that dog in the paws. But the last drive, man, he ended up getting hurt. Damn. And they had to bring in the backup quarterback, and it just wasn't the same. And he had just came off a 70-yard run play and scored a touchdown, man, where he scrambled. So he was, the offense was getting going, man. But it was a good game to call. Like I said, Kentucky State's homecoming.
I like them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was like 300 some yards of offense for both teams, man. So a good game, man. I think this probably was the best game that we've had this season, calling the game. So excited, man. Next week we're at Fairfield, Alabama, Miles College versus Benedict. Benedict, man, they've been balling. They've been playing really well, man. So yeah, man, that was week 5, man.
Week 5 in the books already, man. Hey, this season moving, man.
Yeah.
Season moving. College obviously usually a week ahead. They start with week 0, but they're a week ahead we wrap up. Should we wrap up week 4 this week? All right, with tonight.
Yeah, week 4 tonight.
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks, New York Giants.
Monday night football. But man, yeah, that's what's up, man. So you do production meetings with these coaches and like the players and shit too?
Yeah, so we do production meetings during the week. During the week on Wednesdays, typically we spend an hour and a half with the coaching staff, and just talk ball, talk philosophy, what they need to improve on, what they're looking into. The typical question that you would ask a head coach.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, who do you come up with those? Like the questions you want to ask the coaches, the players, or does somebody like the producers? I'm sure you had your own input, but who comes up with those questions for like the broadcast, the analysts? Because I know when y'all talking about the game, y'all like, hey, this coach, blah blah, or this player, this story. Like, who comes up with that type of stuff?
So we come up with them.
Okay.
So myself, color analyst, my play-by-play, James Hadnot. Y'all are definitely gonna see this young fella on NBC, CBS soon. Like he's top notch. And then even our sideline reporter, Laurencia Moten, she comes up with different stories where we talk about, just tapping in with the players. Then we added a fourth member to the crew called the Sights and Sounds, and they just kind of get the culture of the whole HBCU movement. But then our producers as well, they'll ask some questions. So it's a collective, it's a collective effort. And like so far, man, you can just tell week by week, man, it's been improving for us.
Bet. What's up, man?
Yeah, man. Sure, man. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, man. We start off last week, man. Thursday night football. We had a really, really good matchup. Detroit Lions at Green Bay. I think you had Detroit. I picked Green Bay. I felt as though this game could kind of go either which way, being that it was a divisional game.
Yep.
In Green Bay. I'm trying to give you the reason why I picked Green Bay. Green Bay.
Look at that shit.
Green Bay coming off a big time come from behind win the previous week, man. I'm like, okay, they going back home. Weezy. And we're gonna talk. We gotta get Weezy in the gym or something, man. Lil Wayne ran the.
I'm gonna tell you what it's. I see them. They say you look. Hey, I ain't gonna
what
say.
What they say look like?
I ain't gonna say it, bro. But man, when I went back and watched the video again, I couldn't unsee it. I couldn't. Man, it was. Yeah, we got to get. Maybe we got to bring him out on a motorcycle or something. But he can't be running out with a pro football team.
Yeah. But. Detroit, man. They've I think we at a point last year we was like we can just see where the Detroit Lions, just the organization is making a culture change, a shift in the right direction, man. And they start this season off with obviously a big win against Kansas City. They sitting at 3-1 now, but for the second week, Green Bay's gotten off to a slow start. And Green Bay is not a team where they can afford to do that week in and week out, especially having a young quarterback, and then playing against a good team like Detroit. They just can't afford to get behind like they did. They got to a point in this game where they were making it in the second half that they made it a game. If they make a play or two here and there, it's a different story, but they just can't get behind. They can't afford to do that. Jordan Love starting off the game looked a little sluggish, but he was able to pick it up. But then, hats off to Detroit, man, because they're playing some really, really good ball right now. And we're gonna talk about our rankings a little later in the show. But I got somebody had to Detroit.
So they stuck up in your top 5. I'll tell you right, spoiler, they ain't in my top 5 yet. I don't pick them.
Like I said, we're gonna talk about that later on in the show.
Okay, well let me move it along then. But I done picked Detroit twice now in prime time, and they ain't let me down yet. First game to open the season against the defending champs, the Chiefs, they held it down. That's where you saw them. Their identity is pretty much established in that locker room, their culture, that coaching staff, the players they got. Been playing great on defense. I think the best run defense right now in the league, and they get after you up front. That was part of the reason I went with them. The Packers banged up front as far as the O-line goes. Couldn't get really a run game going. Watson got in the lineup. Aaron Jones got in the lineup. I don't know what's going on with Aaron Jones and his usage, but they're not getting him the ball enough, in my opinion. And then the Lions on offense just ran the ball down their throat. Montgomery was he did whatever he wanted to do. Scored a bunch of touchdowns. Gibbs still not getting involved yet, but if your offense is working and moving the way it is, you kind of got to get in where you fit in. I'm sure they'll get they'll get him involved as the season goes on. But the Lions are doing everything right, in my opinion, as far as culture-wise, building a tough football team. And they're showing why they were the favorites in this division to win it. And they're doing everything in their power to continue doing that this season. So shout out to the Lions, man.
Yeah, they got to get Gibbs the ball, because they showed the stat shows when he gets the ball, he makes it happen. He's averaging like 5 yards a touch. So I get what you're saying as far though it's working. So let's lean on it. Maybe a young player, we don't want to give him too much, too early, too soon. Maybe we can save him, middle of the season down the stretch. But right now, you looking at it, it's like, if you averaging 5 yards a carry, we got to find 5 yards a touch. We got to find somehow, some way to give him the rock.
Hey, I feel you, but
pause. No, you don't.
If you got to grow up, bro. I feel what you said, but if what we doing working, I don't think it's like when you up 2 touchdowns or something, and you see a receiver on the sideline, you're like, get me the ball, throw me the ball, I'm open. Like, hey, it ain't your time quite yet. And like I said, it's a great weapon to have, and I feel like once he does get in, he'll continue to make an impact. But I don't think you need to go out your way. I ain't involved unless you looking like Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's like, all right, we got to find we got to find a spark somewhere.
But somebody in the backfield, and every time you give him the ball, he gets 5 yards for you.
What Montgomery doing?
I'm not saying Montgomery not doing that, but when you have that weapon, shit, we gotta get creative. We gotta get him the rock. I'm not saying rush. I'm not saying overanalyze it. I don't think that's overanalyzing anything. Somebody I know, when I get the ball, it can give me 5 yards a touch.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I love good. I might have picked him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So I feel what you're saying. Pass protection too, big play action team, drop back pass. So I'm sure Montgomery has the edge in that. And from that standpoint too. But I feel you there. I think they'll get him involved. But that's a good problem to have when you're sitting at 3-1 right now. I think.
Facts.
Yeah, 3-1. So and he's a rookie. Get in where you fit in, young fella. He'll be all right.
I'm with you. To start the slate off, man. Yesterday, in London, Atlanta Falcons against the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Jacksonville this year has kind of been paused up and down, but they came out and put a good showing against the Atlanta Falcons. I was able to catch a little bit of this game. Early game, obviously, out here on the East Coast, 9:30. Any thoughts on this one, man? Were you able to catch this one?
I caught some of it. I was trying to catch some of this Toy Story broadcast too, but it took me a little while. What was I doing? I forgot what I was doing. I actually forgot this game was on this early. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But then I caught some of it. But Jaguars took care of business. They got a two game stand out there in London. So they'll be playing. They just played that one. They'll play another one on Sunday, which is interesting. They took care of business. Desmond Ridder, that was a question.
I hate that.
I mean, they could have hated us. If you were the Jaguars for years now, you probably used to going out there at this point. We do send a team out there. I think they're going to be the first one on that bird for sure. But they handle business. And on the flip side, my biggest question mark for the Atlanta Falcons coming into this year was Desmond Ridder at quarterback.
Yeah.
He didn't look great. He doesn't look like he's
comfortable.
He's comfortable. Now, this is early in his starting quarterback career, but he just don't look like one of them guys just yet. And he got talent out there. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Mac Hollins. You saw it was a little moment on the sideline where Ridder missed Hollins on the deep ball. He came and tried to dap him up on the side. He still stood up down and like he was ready to fight the dude. So some frustration out there, especially when you got a stud like Bijan Robinson at running back. Got Cordell Patterson and Joker as well. So they got to figure out how to get some more, be more explosive on offense.
What they gonna do with Kyle Pitts, man? Like Kyle Pitts, he should see at least 8 targets a game. Like get screens, like something, man. Like he's a matchup nightmare. Like as far as you put a DB on him, bigger frame, physical guy.
Yep.
You put a linebacker on him, he can run away from most linebackers. Like they got to get him in the game.
The other Jonnu Smith actually had a big time game for them, their other tight end. So it's a head scratcher when you look at Kyle Pitts and why he's not getting the since he came in the league. Honestly, I feel like he hasn't had the production. I think he had 1,000 yards his first year, like maybe 2 touchdowns or something crazy like that. But yeah, you got to find a way to get that guy the ball. But I feel like we've been saying that since he came in the league.
Yeah, man. One of your mobs, man.
Woo! We can go ahead and just
we're gonna talk about this. Miami at Buffalo. We got a question in the chat too. Buffalo, I'm gonna put 50 up on them boards yesterday. Miami on the road, coming off that scorcher against Denver Broncos, putting up 70 points. Buffalo did a great job defensively and offensively. Obviously putting points on the board, but defensively, man, they did a good job. And somebody just had a question as far as during the game, they were talking about this palms coverage that Buffalo was running, and I think somebody just asked like, what is Brad Richardson asked what palms coverage is, and really it's a coverage that can starts off in. Well, I'm not gonna say starts off with anything, but it could turn into cover 2 or it could turn into cover 4. So at the beginning,
if I coached it, I would say you start off, and you was about to say it. I say it starts off in 4, and that's how I would tell my corners, because you up until you're not up. So what the premise of and I played a ton of this in college and obviously throughout the league, but this was basically our base coverage in college. This corner and the safety is reading a number 2 receiver. And if you watch football, you count from outside in. The closest receiver to the sideline is number 1. Guy inside that is 2, 3, and then on the other side, 1, 2, etc. And our key basically in this coverage is number 2. And if he comes out 5 yards or less, 6 yards, whatever your rules are within that coverage or within whatever else is going on in defense, that turns that corner into a cloud corner. So he's going to turn. So it's basically going to turn
cover 2
on that side. Yep. So he's going to turn it to a cover 2 flat defender as a corner when 2 breaks out. If he does anything else, the corner remains in quarters. So you should mentally, for a young player, hey, it's quarters until it's not. And then and that coverage though, it always causes because
it's gray area in that coverage.
Sure. Yeah.
It is gray area in that coverage because I've ran it a couple of different ways with the number 2, whether what number 2 goes in or out less than say 6 yards, 5 yards. We're gonna cloud the corner, like you said. Like I've been in places where if that number 2 goes out, we gonna cloud. But if it's vertical or in, we're gonna play quarters. So it's not a lot of ways, but it's some different ways that you can run it. But where that gray area comes in at is like, okay, some teams say if number 2 is vertical up to 8 yards, we gonna cloud or whatever. So now it gets a little tricky where that number 2 could go 9 yards and the safety can look at it as quarters. The corner gonna be like, oh, I looked at it as cloud. So with that, you really have to set your rules. Like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And then, for different weeks, it could be something different because offenses go run some different type of route concepts that you feel like, okay, we can play this palms coverage. It's going to be good for us. But at all times, it would allow you to have at least two safeties high. And with the Miami Dolphins, that's what you want, being that you have Tyreek Hill, you have Jalen Waddle, 2 guys that can take the top of the defense. So again, we talked about it earlier, like teams up here trying to press and get get hands on, play man to man, play cover like they gonna eat that up. So again, offenses aren't really patient enough to really dink and dunk down the field.
Yeah.
At some point, they're gonna want to take a couple shots. You know what I mean? So even if it's a completed pass, a pass interference, or whatever the case may be, they'll be able to move the ball down the field. So Buffalo, man, they did a good job getting after Tua as well.
Mm-hmm.
They was able to put some pressure on Tua. But this Miami, they're going to see this probably the next couple weeks. Obviously, other teams, they may or may not have the personnel to be able to get the job done. But Buffalo seemingly put the blueprint out there to at least slow the team, slow Miami offense down.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it started off looking like this game was going to be a shootout, but the Buffalo Bills, I'm sure we'll talk about maybe both these teams once we get into the top 5. But Buffalo Bills, man, last 3 weeks now, they dropped the ball on the first week against the Jets, but since then they have been absolutely rolling on both sides of the ball. Been multiple on defense, flying around, making plays. Bernard, young linebacker who got his shot this year, he's having an outstanding year. Milano, an all-pro, showing why he is week in and week out.
Yeah, he's been making some plays.
Yeah, even though they were down 4 years, he was down. I gutted for Tre'Davious White, man, their star corner who came back. Last year, late last year, coming off the ACL, he reportedly tore his Achilles, so he'll be out for the year. So that sucks for him and for that team in that locker room. But I mean, they have been rolling. Josh Allen looked good. He looked really good on offense. And coming into this game, my key to this game, if I'm on defense, Dolphins, hey, we got to find a way to slow down Stephon Diggs, first and foremost. The Bills also have a run game right now, which is a problem for anybody facing them. But Diggs, we got to slow him down. So for me, it would have been, let's put X Howard on him as much as possible, and let's let Big Dog go on Big Dog. But for some reason, Kohu was on him way too much for my liking, and Diggs kind of set the tone for this game and for this team. So Bills look good, though. They look damn good right now, week in and week out for sure.
And that's surprising to me too, because again, I talk about Vic Fangio a lot as far as defensive coordinator and one of probably the best defense coordinator I played for. And I vividly remember we had a coverage called pounder coverage, right? Mm-hmm. So it was like a cover 4, but within that cover 4, we would have a player that we would double at all times wherever he was. You know what I'm saying? So say Stephon Diggs, kind of like he would have been the player that we would have doubled. You know what I mean? We would make the offense beat us left-handed. Davis, he would have had to have a magnificent game. He would have had to have 12 catches for whatever yards. But Diggs, star player, man-to-man alum, he went off yesterday. So that was kind of surprising to me as well, just being that, like you said, not really trying to take him out the game.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. But like Buffalo Bills, man, like you said, since week 1, man, they've been rolling.
The Buffalo Bills, 28. You go win by 50, get beat by 28. Week to week league.
Or they frauds? No, I ain't gonna put that on y'all yet. Well, I ain't gonna say surprising. I should have changed this pick. I had Cleveland on this one. Once I seen Deshaun wasn't playing, should have changed this pick. But Baltimore, another divisional matchup. Baltimore at Cleveland. Lamar, they look good. That defense, I feel as though it's just really coming along. Look like that defense that Baltimore always has.
Yeah,
3 levels, man. They playing some really good ball. Defensive line getting after it. Their linebacker crew. I like their linebacker crew, and then secondary.
Oh, them linebackers.
Yeah, them linebackers for Baltimore, man. I like them, and then the secondary. So this Baltimore's team is looking and shaping up to be one of them teams that they can take that next step in the offs. And then Cleveland, man. Cleveland without Deshaun Watson, wasn't able to get much done yesterday.
Yeah, and coming into this game, the defense been playing so great, but offensively, Deshaun was coming off one of his best games in a long time from last week. Had the bum shoulder. Reports came out that he was going to play, and then it came out late that he was out. So even with him being as banged up as it seemed he was, I had to go with the Ravens here. I'm gonna set my Ravens. Had to go with the Ravens here.
Go ahead. Put it out there for
they are the Brown County Ravens.
What week is this? Is week 4. And by week 7, week 8, y'all done heard it. He didn't really want it. Pause. He didn't really want to say it. By week 7, week 8, D-But's gonna add another team to his stable of teams he had right now.
If I had one, I'm gonna have to drop one. So my teams went 2-2. But now I ain't gonna add them just yet. But they all the Brown County Ravens with Lamar Zay.
Oh shit! Here we go.
They had the business 28-3. Did what they were supposed to do against a backup quarterback with DTR. I think he'll be a good player in this league. But Lamar looked good again. Struggled last week against our Indianapolis Colts, but came out and got a bounce back victory against the divisional opponent, Browns. But good game for the Ravens, man.
Yeah. Denver at Chicago.
Oh,
the toilet bowl earlier this season. But turned out to be a good game. Chicago looked like Chicago was going to be able to get them a dub. After all, that's been going on over there early in the season.
Yep.
They came out on fire. At one point in the game, Justin Fields, man, his stat line was crazy.
Yeah, it's like 12 for 12, 3 touchdowns.
Yes, stat line was crazy. But after the half, man, just tell the 2 halves. Great, that's what it was. Tell the 2 halves, man. In Denver, they was able to rally back and get this dub. Both teams needed to win. Both teams needed this win, especially Denver. After that ass whooping that they took last week, they needed something. They needed something for them, and this was going to be, and it's overreaction. But this is what I'm gonna say. Them getting whooped by 70 last week. If they would went to Chicago and lost that game,
somebody had to go.
Oh no, that's a fact.
Somebody would have to go.
Well, I ain't overreacting then.
No, that's not overreaction. Somebody, especially with how this one was going to. If it continued to go because Dolphins one thing. Now Dolphins great team, great offense. You can't give up 70. I don't give a damn who you play. You could be playing the AFC Pro Bowl team. You can't give up 70 on a Sunday. But if you'd have came out and let Justin Fields turn into Ohio State Justin Fields on you, run away with the win, that would have been a whole different conversation. But like you said, tell the 2 halves. Found a way to get it done. And Russell Wilson versus the Bears, 21 for 28, 223 yards, 3 passing TDs, 133.5 passer rating, a 21-point comeback win. So shout out to Russ. I picked the Broncos to win this one. I had them covering 2. I think the spread was 3.5. But like you said, both of these teams were in must-win situations. I just trusted the Broncos.
Man, you ain't trust no damn Broncos.
Especially coming off a 50-point L. I said, nah, they gonna
hell nah. Ain't no way in hell you just said that, D-Buck.
I swear, matter of fact, I had
you trusted the Broncos. Hell no.
I had a parlay put together. I put it in the group chat. My brothers said, man, I ain't putting the Broncos nowhere near. I ain't betting a cent on the Broncos unless they play the Miami New Orleans Vikings. But I did trust them to get a win over the Bears, and they got it, man. They needed it, man. But hey,
you picked them to win, but
we already spent too much time with this toilet bowl.
Hell no, toilet bowl. That shit was, man. Hell no. Get out of here.
I think the Bears got the top 2 picks right now. If the draft was tomorrow, top 2 pick right now. The draft order: Bears, Vikings, Broncos, Bengals would be the top 5.
I know the draft was a long time away.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be here before we know it, though. But the top 2 picks, the way they looking right now, do you use those top 2 picks, or do you use one? You trade one off to get some more picks?
You use them. You use them for sure. Obviously, quarterback, but shit, I go quarterback Marvin Harrison Jr. If I'm in this position of picking that top 5, I'm going.
So you all for Fields,
huh?
You all for Fields.
I'm going Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison, maybe Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr., but one of those two guys and Marvin Harrison Jr. for sure. I'm using it. Hey, can you see what the Houston Texans doing right now? They use their top 2 picks wisely with CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. Shout out to let's move off his toilet.
Yeah. That's our next game up.
Yeah,
next game up. Pittsburgh at Houston.
Too, man.
I pick you pick Pittsburgh here. I think this is one of the probably only games that I got right yesterday. Houston.
Damn.
Man, Houston, man, they are building something over there in Houston. CJ Stroud, man, he's been playing some really, really good ball. 16 for 30, 306 yards, 2 tugs, no picks. And then I like Damian Pierce. I liked him like last year, man. Just the way he took that rock and run that rock. Defensively, man, they are flying around on the defensive side of the ball. Another man-to-man alum over there, Jimmy Ward, came over from for San Fran. But the front is playing really well. So
another man-to-man alum too.
Who that?
Steve Nelson.
Yeah.
They had Steve Nelson over there against one of his former mobs too, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let him walk. So when that happens, it's business. And they say don't take it personal, but we always take that shit personal. It's personal when somebody tells you at some point we all gonna be told, hey, you ain't good enough to do this no more. At least not for us. And that's what they told Steven. He went out there and balled, had him a pick, made some big time plays. So shout out to my dog.
Nah, man, that's good stuff. Nico Collins, man, you're looking at the stat line. Nico Collins had a big game, 7 catches, 168. Yep. So Houston, man, we talk about it. Hey, first year quarterback, first year head coach. What should we expect? But shit, sitting right now going to week 5, man. They sitting at 2-2, man. They playing some really good ball, and I just feel like the more they get comfortable, more CJ get comfortable.
Yeah.
It can only go up for the Houston Texans, man.
For sure. They got the hire right with DeMeco Ryans, man.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to the team, and we've been around the league. I feel like kind of around that same age group with DeMeco and
yeah, we were the same draft class.
Yeah, so y'all the same draft class, so a couple years older than me, a few years older than me, but yeah, he got it right. We knew who he was as a player, and then as a defensive mind, and now being a leader amongst men. Had the opportunity to see him talk to the team a couple of times. You can just tell that vibe is different. So the Houston Texans got him one, man. They building it the right way. I feel like with Nick Caserio, DeMeco Ryans, and this mob. And I like CJ Stroud too. I like how he go about his business.
Yeah, man. He was saying that he invited the team over to the crib. So that goes a long way. I think that was probably the beauty of when I was at the Colts. You know what I'm saying? That was just how we rock with one another off the field. You know what I mean? It's not one of them, especially in this game. It's not something that, okay, we just gonna come in the building and we gonna make it work. Like you gotta know the guy to your right, to your left. What they're going through, what they like. Their temperament and stuff like that. So I think that's just building that culture.
Yep.
Is a must.
Key for sure.
So I'm Colts wants to drop the big one in overtime, man, against the LA Rams. This was a tough loss, man. They battled back. In overtime, it was just
right?
Huh?
Down 23-0, right?
Yeah. In this last play, just some miscommunication on the outside. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be one thing they talk about. But again, no more victories.
Nope.
No more victories. We're not gonna sit here, no more victories. They can build off of this. You see what was they have the talent in the room, D-But. You know what I'm saying? And I just, I think we're in a good spot. First quarter of the season come out 2-2. Obviously, you always talk about you want to be on the winning side of that first quarter, but come in at 2-2. You still don't have JT. I'm not mad at where we at as coach right now.
Yeah, he starts that 21-day window where they could bring it back to the team, as does Cooper Kupp for the LA Rams coming off the PUP. And then we'll see obviously what happens with Jonathan Taylor. If he's moved, if he comes back into the fold and start playing again, Zach Moss has been playing well for us at running back as well. But like you said, no moral victories for sure, but fight back. We made it a game. Obviously got to start better. You come out the first quarter of the season 2-2.
Yeah.
Not in a bad spot. I think
they still leading the division.
I think everybody 2-2 now. We got the Texans, I believe they're 2-2. Colts 2-2.
Yep. Titans
got to win. Yep. And Jacksonville just got to win. So I think everybody's sitting at 2-2 right now, coming out of the quarter mark. So shit, it's 0-0 for everybody. So we got a long ways to go, but I think we're heading in the right direction with the right people for sure.
Yeah. Agreed. A surpriser right now that Tampa Bay is sitting at 3-1. I don't care who you are. You're a liar if you say you had Tampa Bay come the first quarter of the season sitting at 3-1. I think we both picked New Orleans. And obviously, it's just early in the season. I think we both had New Orleans.
No. I had the Bucks. Yeah, man. Stop trying to put your bum ass card on me, man.
You ain't had no damn Bucks.
I had the Bucks to win. I had the Bucks to cover.
No. I said the season. I would see you cover your coming in the season.
Hell no. I had running away.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying coming into this season, we had the Saints to win this division. I said the Bucks right now sitting at 3-1. I don't think anybody had them at that position at this juncture of the season.
Absolutely not.
But I had the Saints. I had the Saints here. Sure, man. But the Bucks playing ball.
Yeah, playing good football. Taking care of the ball. Baker Mayfield. And then the Saints. Derek Carr was banged up coming into this game, so I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking with the Browns, like, all right, I'm gonna go with it's a divisional game. I'm gonna go with the other quarterback who's also playing well. Mike Evans still doing his thing. But yeah, nobody had the Bucks. I had the Bucks damn near in the conversation for number one pick coming into the year. So good to see teams and the quarterback Baker Mayfield, betting on himself and doing the damn thing right now. Shout out to the Bucks at 3-1 with Todd Bowles over there leading the ship.
I agree, G.I. Joe. Mike Evans deserves a lifetime contract in Tampa Bay. I agree 1,000%.
They need to treat him like the Cardinals. You should treat Fitz,
no question. One of my mobs, Cincinnati. I'm hitting the panic button over there. Cincinnati at Tennessee is not looking good over there. In Cincinnati, Derrick Henry, man, had him one this week. A lot of people talking about, shit, he got something left in the tank. But Cincinnati, man, not looking good.
Look at Stank, man. You see some frustration from their star receiver, Jamar Chase, after the game. Mind you, this is right after the Monday night game where he was targeted, probably the most he was all season, had his biggest game, and then to come in to this game and not have a great outing at all. They were getting after every time I peeked over this game, I saw Joe Burrow getting hit.
Yeah.
Remember some years ago, the Titans were tagging his ass too. I think the Bengals end up and find a way to win the game in the playoffs, but the Titans, they roughed them up, man. I picked the Titans to win this week. I picked them in this one, partly because last week I picked them, they got embarrassed, and I said, okay, every time I pick the Titans, they go out there and lay an egg, and then I go, you know what, they are who they are, and they show up. So they showed up yesterday, and it's a beatdown, man. I know the Bengals on the short week, but 24-point loss. I'm right there with you. I'm hitting the panic button with you with this Cincinnati Bengals team. Is Joe Burrow fully healthy? And then outside of that, shit, can they win? Can they win consistently with what the team and how they're playing right now? We know who this guy is. Joe Burrow's highest paid player in the league history right now. But hey, they got to find a way to get it done, turn this shit around. It's been stank so far to start the season out.
Nah, no question. Can they turn it around? I think they have the capabilities to turn it around, but that shit got to be sooner than later, man. We're gonna run through.
Yes, sir.
The last couple of these. Another good game. Divisional matchup. Washington Commanders at Philly. Philly was able to, kick a field goal end of the game. But Washington, man, Sam Howell, and company, they gotta get this thing consistent over there. I think they can really have a good run of the season. Philadelphia, AJ Brown had a good game. Able to squeak this one out.
Yeah. So in Jalen Hurts last 22 starts now, one loss. And they came to these Washington Commanders, 22 regular season starts, one loss, and they came to these Washington Commanders. So they gave him a run for their money. Sam Howell to Jahan Dotson tied it up, tied it up with the extra point, of course, with 0-0-0 on the clock. So shout out to them, fighting and making this a tough game. Philly had to give it everything they had to get this victory, man. I think it was an 8.5 point spread on this game. I had the Commanders covering because I feel like they were playing tough, but I had the Eagles winning. So great game.
Yeah, I had Philly in this one. But like you said, good game, man. When this division, when they play each other, these games always are going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota at Carolina. I dropped this one too. Had Carolina winning this.
What you was on this week?
Man, had Carolina winning this one. Shit, Carolina came out strong. First half, man, Minnesota was able to
graphic, man. Let me go look at your graphic again.
Man, it was ugly for your boy this week, man. But I ain't tripping. I know you can come next week. You can come to your senses sooner towards the season. Tone. We gotta get them. We gotta get our win-loss record, man. So far this season.
Yeah, because I had the Vikings in this one, man. Once again, both of these teams came in needing to win. It's a must-win game for both of them. Had more faith in the Vikings than I had with the Panthers. It was really simple as that for me. And the Vikings found a way to get it done. Justin Jefferson continued to do his thing. Kirk Cousins, still a lot of room for improvement on both sides of the ball for this team. And shit, Panthers, man.
I don't know what they got to do over there.
Man, I heard Frank right after the game say, because they asked him about a timeout or something he called. He said, I called a play that could only go to Adam Thielen. And then I realized Adam Thielen wasn't in the game. So I called a timeout and had to call it up. I'm like, bro, what, bro? Some of this shit, I feel like sometimes these coaches be talking too much, bro. Like, yeah, but that's malpractice at this point.
Yeah.
Good. How you got to play that can only go to one person, number one? And then number two, how you call a play without the dude in the game? But they need weapons, they need juice, they need a line, they need a lot of things to see what they really got in Bryce Young and the rest of that football team. But not a great start for the Frank Wright era down there in Carolina for sure.
Yeah, man. I just feel like sometimes, man, you try to. This game is not hard. This game is not hard. It's ways that you win the game. It's ways that you lose the game. Like, the overthinking, the overanalyzing. Like, man, just play the game, man.
Yeah.
Las Vegas versus the Chargers, another divisional matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Good game. At the end of the game, Josh Palmer, man, was able to bring in. Yeah, that was a tough catch to kind of put the game out of reach. Jimmy G was out for the Raiders. Rookie got his first start.
Yep.
It was a good game. It was a good game, man. I thought I was ready to come on here today and talk some shit to you, D-Butt.
Hey, Staley tried.
But they got it done.
He tried, but Staley tried to trigger it off. But a lot of people out. Mike Williams obviously out for the year with the knee injury. Few old linemen banged up. Joey Bosa was out. Khalil Mack. How about Khalil Mack? We've been talking about Myles Garrett, Michael Parsons, TJ Watt, Nick Bosa, all these great pass rushers. Chris Jones. Khalil Mack almost became one of the forgotten ones, but had 6 sacks yesterday.
That had to put him at number one off one game.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, he had to jump for sure, unless he just ain't been doing shit these other games. But 6 sacks in one game, one away from the all-time record, I believe, Just an overall dominant performance. And Justin Herbert, man, continues to be phenomenal. Through his first pick of the season last game, but he's been lights out. And for them to go on 3rd and 10, I believe a minute some change left, Raiders had no timeouts. So I'm thinking, they're gonna play it kind of safe, keep the clock rolling, maybe punt it, play good defense. Boys went bomb down the sideline, streaks. Josh Palmer in stride, fingertip kick for the gusto to close this game out. So Justin Herbert continues to carry this mob. And we went 2-2 yesterday. My Eagles, my Chargers got a dub, my Dolphins, and my Colts.
Damn, I don't know how you keep up with all them teams. And then Baltimore about to be your team week 8, week 9.
That was my Super Bowl.
How you even keep up with all them shits, man? Dallas, New England at Dallas. They said this was Bill Belichick's worst loss.
So 29 years, coach.
I already know y'all say y'all used to be tackling and shit at the practice, so I already know what type of drills. they're gonna be doing after this ass whooping.
Bro, I feel sorry for them folks up in Foxborough right now, but we had it is what it is, Mark, with Mac Jones, I think, and I don't know where you at with it. With that, that's where I'm at with it. Mac Jones, he might think. Yeah, I think he stinks. He had a good rookie year where.
Damn, you typically don't say that. Like,
he was dumping the ball off, check down Charlie, but he had a good rookie year, productive as a quarterback, took a step back. And I mean, the picks that he threw, they were just shit you can't do. Running to your right, setting back up, throwing it all the way back to the what are you doing? Shout out to Ron Bland, young corner out there stepping up in Trevon Diggs' absence, 2 picks, 1 pick six. He had 4 picks, I believe, last year as a rookie playing in the slot. Now he had to go, move to the outside with Diggs being out. So shout out to him continuing to be a ball hawk. But
so Mac Jones a wrap.
I mean, he got pulled. He got pulled for Bailey Zappi. Bill Belichick said after the game he didn't get pulled for his performance. He said he's not benched in that regard, but he got pulled because while we keep Mac Jones out there, the game was pretty much out of hand. But you take what you want from that. Worst loss in Belichick era?
Yep.
Yeah, it's I think the guys think
they full practice. They full padded practice. They might be full pads today at the walkthrough. They probably have a walkthrough today. Probably come in, film, study, get some lift in. But Wednesday for sure, they full pads. Do they even wear full pads during the week anymore?
Yep, I know.
They do. They get what? How many practices they get full padded?
I'm not sure what the CBA said. I remember even when we were playing, it was like up until week 12 or something. You couldn't do it anymore. But I know the Bills, at least last week on Wednesday, shit, they showed it too. On Wednesday, they were full pads, and then I think they do shells on Thursday. So probably a lot of teams do it. But some teams be banged up. They might do a walkthrough on Thursday at this point.
Yeah.
So it depends on obviously your team. You know that. But I tell you what, whatever the max is, it's gonna be done up there in New England this week.
Woo.
And I don't know if it'll help if Mac Jones taking the snaps.
Man. Arizona at San Fran. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, spoiler alert, this is my number 1 on the power rankings. That was my number 1 last week. But figured, this was kind of how this would look in this game. Christian McCaffrey, man, he's a dog. He deserves every penny that he's getting. Hopefully, some other running backs could get that bag too. But Brock Purdy, man, he's a guy. He's a guy. I know, people keep questioning like, hey, is this real? I feel like Brock Purdy is a guy. Obviously, it helps to have all that talent around you, man. But
yeah, one in completion, I think.
Yeah, he's a guy. So, Arizona, one of D-Buzz mob.
Definitely not. But this is the battle of AB's mobs right here. I did not think this game would go this way. I thought it would be closer. I thought the Cardinals would, divisional matchup. Cardinals been playing tough. They've been a physical team. But to AB's point, his top team in the league in his power rankings, San Francisco just keep coming out handling business on both sides of the football, man. They're just a sound team. Like you look at it, they do everything right. and nobody. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is the focal point of that offense right now, but everybody's available. You know, it could be Kittle, it could be Debo, it could be Ayuk, it could be Juice, it could be anybody. Man, they're just getting it done. I think Brock Purdy had one incompletion yesterday. Just phenomenal all around performance by this mob. Had a little squabble after the game too with
Yeah, I seen that.
Frank and James
Conner.
Conner. Yeah, I saw him chirping a little bit during the game too. I'm like, this might not have nothing to do with
It
football.
might be personal, you know what I'm saying?
It might not have shit to do with football, but
and the way Conner kind of like grabbed him, it was like on some son shit. Like,
thinking,
yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, this ain't nothing about the game.
Yeah, it ain't saying shit to do with that. So something to keep an eye on next time these two teams line it up again. But yeah, I ain't mad at that shit. Let's fly through these other ones so we can get to our power rankings.
Yeah, just Kansas City last night, Sunday night. Kansas City, at the Jets. Obviously, you know, Swifty, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. You know, Zach Wilson, man. Where is he at in this whole transition, and where he's at? You know, as far as you know, him leading the Jets since Aaron Rodgers has been hurt. But good game. Good game, man. Good game. Jets came out here and battled. Kansas City was able to find a way to get it done. So Patrick Mahomes threw 2 picks, should have been 3. CJ Mosley dropped 1. First off, give me your thoughts on the Jets, man. Give me your thoughts on Zach Wilson, because I thought it was a stretch in the game that he was playing some really good ball, like hitting his back foot. The timing was good.
Yep.
Ball placement was really good on some back shoulder throws. It just seemed like he was, you know, getting back to his job. He knew where he needed to go. He was able to go through his reads good for the most part, man. Just give me your thought process on how he played.
Man, I feel like Nathaniel Hackett put him in a much better spot, play calling wise. You know, had him on the move some. To your point, had him in plays where, hey, you get back to this top of your drop, you make your reads, you make your throws. Got the running backs involved. So I think all around it was a good performance for him. For the guys out there, missed a couple throws, which is gonna happen. But he played well. He was out playing Patrick Mahomes at the halftime mark. So when you play quarterback like that with this team and the defense that you have on the other side, that's the recipe to win a lot of games. And they played well enough. Obviously not to win it, they didn't get it done. But I think Zach Wilson, if he continues to build on that, because we were close to and for him to do it in this moment too, where, you know, everybody's kind of, you know, you got Joe Namath coming for him, you got Fireman Ed saying get him out of here, you got reports coming out that the locker room is fractured because of how bad Zach Wilson is, and he doesn't care. And then you got, you know, Sunday Night Football, one of the biggest stages in football, you know, all the hoopla that's surrounding, you know, Taylor Swift been in the building, all these other stars, Aaron Rodgers been in the building.
Yeah.
So for you to come in and perform like that with all that going on, I think that said a lot about the kid, man. So I was definitely happy for him to show this. You know, once again, it's no more victories, but I think he played well. I think the guys in that locker room definitely believe in him some more as well. And yeah, so I was happy with Zach Wilson's performance. Now, what's your thoughts on Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, you know, post Eric Bieniemy? What's your thoughts on everything that's going on? And it was some questionable calls in this game late.
It was a number of questionable calls in Kansas City, man. Post Eric Bieniemy, man, it shows what, you know, some of us thought. Like, Eric Bieniemy definitely had his hands in what was going on in Kansas City in their offense. Obviously, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, you know, great talent on the field, Travis Kelce. But it does look different. It does look different. And you can also talk about the guys on the outside really hasn't, I would say, stepped up to confirm, like, okay, outside of Travis Kelce, you know, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's definitely been looking different so far these first 4 weeks in Kansas City. And then you look, you know, talking about Eric Bieniemy, you look at what the Commanders are doing. You can tell, like, he has a major influence on the offense or whatever the case may be. So Kansas City, man, they still finding ways to get it done. That's what great teams do.
Yep.
Regardless of, you know, it's a 1-point win, a 30-point win, they find ways to win.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people. Now, we saw the flag that was thrown on the hole. with Sauce Gardner. Was it a hold? Was it not? I mean, it was close. Was it a hold technically? Yeah. But I think the biggest issue that people have with that call is how late that flag came in. And I posted something on my Twitter with a replay of the ref throwing the flag. And I know refs do this sometimes. They'll see a penalty, but then if they feel like, oh, it may not impact the play, they kind of hold the flag. Saw the grab, but threw the flag after the ball was actually picked off. Like he had the ball picked off 2 feet on the ground, and then the ref threw that holding flag. So didn't like that at all. Don't like the optics of it. I understand people, oh, this is rigged. This is Kansas City. It was a misholding call on Jermaine Johnson earlier in one of the drives as well on Mahomes' long run. And then a lot of bettors who bet. Which way did you pick this game? I picked the Chiefs to cover, I believe.
Yeah, I think I had the Chiefs. Yeah. Chiefs to win and the cover.
Yeah, so a lot of people had Chiefs in the cover. I believe around 80% of the money was on Chiefs cover. So when Patrick Mahomes had the opportunity to run into the end zone late, go up 10, slid instead. A lot of people were pissed off about, oh, it's rigged. He got the call. But look, these players, these coaches don't care about your line, about your spread. You care about winning that game. And if we can get on the knee, get in victory formation, and guarantee that this game is over, that's what we're going to do. A lot of people, hey, you go up 10 against the Jets, they're not going to score. Crazier things have happened. So obviously that's the right play by Patrick Mahomes. He don't give a damn about your tickets at all.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. We're going to talk about this Monday Night Football game. Then we're going to get to our power rankings before we let y'all go, before we get out of here. But we got Seattle at New York. Seattle's a 1.5-point favorite. Who you like in this one, D-Buck?
Give me Seattle, man. I like Seattle. First thing I look at, honestly, head coach, quarterback. I look at those matchups right now. And right now I'm giving Seattle that edge in both departments. Give me Seattle. Just a lot of balance on offense. Kenneth Walker, dog. You got Geno, who's been playing well. You got Lockett. You got DK. You got guys just on that offensive side of the ball doing their thing. And defensively, Jamal Adams is back in the lineup. I am excited to see him back out on the field, getting after that quarterback, create some havoc. Very talented defense and secondary that Seattle has over there. Looking for them to kind of step up and make some big plays tonight. So give me the Seattle Seahawks on prime time tonight over your New York Giants.
Man, not my New York Giants, but I feel like New York Giants they need to win, man. They at home. I feel like they might be able to come out and surprise some folks. But I think I'm gonna go with Seattle. My car's been stank this week, man.
All right. Turn around. You're going to Seattle with a Giants jersey behind you.
Yeah, I mean, shit, it is what it is. You know what I mean? You know, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. So we both got Seattle tonight. Seattle, Monday Night Football. Seattle 1.5-point favorite against the New York Giants. And before we get out of here, we have the man-to-man power rankings week 4. I'm gonna start with mine's. San Fran. Ooh. That was my top from last week. I just feel again they are the most balanced team, most consistent team up to this point. Next, I'm going with Philly. They move up a spot from last week. Only 2 unbeaten teams left.
Arrows, okay.
Kansas City. They moved up a spot for me. You know, since that week 1 loss, you know, they've been finding the ways to win. Defense, I feel as though is slept on. I think their defense is really good as well. Buffalo, number 4. You know, for me, after their week 1 loss as well, past 3 weeks, man, they've been playing really, really good. Yesterday, beating a good Miami team in the division. So they moved up a spot. And to close out my power rankings is Miami at 5. It was a little iffy here. You know, it was another team. I was thinking about putting Detroit.
You got a 6.
I was thinking about putting Detroit here.
Oh, damn, 1 loss. My dog.
One loss. Like how though? Like how was that? How did that loss come about? You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't lose a close one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number five at Miami, they dropped 3 spots for me. So that's my power ranking. San Fran, Philly, Kansas City, Buffalo, and Miami.
Solid power ranking. Let's see what I got here. San Fran bumped up 3 spots in this week's power rankings. Like I said, man, just polished. Everything's well put together on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. They're doing what they want to do. They are controlling the pace of the game week in and week out. C-Mac is playing unbelievable. Brock Purdy's playing great. The defense is playing great. The 49ers are the number 1 team on my power rankings. Number 2, Buffalo Bills. Man, last 3 weeks, a lot of teams started off slow week 1, but the Bills beat the brakes off the Raiders, beat the brakes off the Commanders, and beat the brakes off of the team that was sitting at number 1 in my power rankings last week, the Miami Dolphins. So they're rolling. Once again, Josh Allen's playing unbelievable ball. And that defense had some questions about it with Von Miller being out, Leslie Frazier being out, being away. Sean McDermott is taking over the reins, and he got that defense buzzing and flying around. So Buffalo Bills are at number 2. Philadelphia Eagles still at 3, playing good ball, dog fight, divisional opponent. Found a way to get a win. That's all that matters. Not always as beautiful as you want, but great team win once again by the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. So the 1 and 3 team are the only 2 undefeated teams left in the league right now. That being the Eagles and the 49ers. Number 4, falling down from grace a little bit from number 1 spot, Miami Dolphins. I thought we were going 17-0. Thought we were winning the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is still on the table. 17-0, not so much. So my Miami Dolphins coming in at the number 4 spot after getting their ass beat. Kansas City Chiefs round out my top 5. Now, you can see the 3-place drop here, but, that's just based on what's happened around the league and what's happened at the top of the league as well. Got to win against the Jets. It looked great. Now, we know we're going to have a little more conversation as the year goes on about this Kansas City team, this Kansas City offense, but I won't make any overreactions right now because they've proven that they are great and they'll figure it out. Usually starts off the seasons a little bit slow. So I think that's what's going on right now with the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's why they are at number 5 in my power ranking. So that's the 49ers, the Buffalo Bills, Philadelphia Eagles, the Miami Dolphins, and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Your teams, I like the teams, but with them arrows moving 3, going down 3, just kind of shows like last week, the rankings were a little shitty, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I respect the team, but last week you got San Fran and Buffalo. They jumped 3 spots. Miami, KC, they
it's
dropped
a week-to-week league. It's a week-to-week league, baby. Philadelphia. I have Philly right. You know what I mean? Buffalo. I ain't believe in Buffalo yet. It was the Raiders and the Commanders, but after what they did to my guys, and then I just couldn't put Miami at 5.
Nah. That's what's up, man. I respect it. There you have it, man. You got, AB's power rankings week 4. We closing out week 4 tonight. You got DB's power rankings as well.
Yes, sir.
Again, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in. It's Monday. You got to get your 30 minutes in. Got to sweat a little bit. Get that heart rate up. Do some. Move the limbs. Shit, man. Y'all go out and have a good week. Tonight, Seattle Seahawks at the New York Giants, Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
Check DB and the guys in the Thunderdome today, 12-2 on ESPN, 12-3 on YouTube.
Yep.
What you got for him, D-Butt?
Hey, man, get your 30 minutes in. Start your week off right. It's starting to get a little chilly in some places. Weather's starting to change. That's when some people kind of get lazy. You know what I'm saying? It's Get out there, man. Get out there, start your week off right, get your 30 minutes in, whether it's outside, inside, figure it out, get something done. Good for your body, good for your mind, good for your soul, man. But appreciate y'all for rocking with us another week of still overreactions. Pretty soon here we gonna get to that is and what it is.
Yeah.
For a lot of these teams around the league, but appreciate y'all for rocking with us.
As always, and we'll let y'all know on Thursday if we'll be live or not.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, we talking. Man to man, they can't guard me. Man to man, they don't wanna see us. Man to man. that's in me, that's why I want it so bad. Must be the hustler in me that keep my foot on the gas. When you got it from nothing, then hard times ain't so bad. Just know I'm coming for everything that they said I couldn't have. I put my life inside it, yeah, I kept it solid. Yeah, I played the field, that's how I feel about it. We put numbers on the board, we always up the score. Yeah, we stuck to the plan and never ran. Now they can't see it, man. Yeah, we talking, man to man. They can't guard me, man to man. They don't wanna see us, man to man. They don't know how to beat us, man to man. Man to man.
Any way we can get it, baby. Any way we can get it.
We gone.